You know the exact feeling. You're sitting at your desk, staring at a screen, fully aware of the work you need to do, but instead of starting, you're just frozen. It's like a computer stuck on the spinning wheel. This state of paralysis is a predictable biological response. It is a system error, a specific data point indicating a breakdown in task initiation, rather than a reflection of your discipline or character. Look at this diagram of the human brain. Two specific areas compete for control when you try to work. The front part is the prefrontal cortex, your logic and execution center. Deeper inside is the amygdala, which frequently misinterprets high-stakes projects as physical threats. When the amygdala hits the panic button, it overrides the prefrontal cortex and locks you out of your logic center. Your body initiates a physical freeze response to protect you from the perceived danger. Trying to work harder in this state is an inefficient use of biological resources. To get moving, you must install a mechanical override to bypass the threat detection system entirely. The first lever is task reduction. This involves shrinking the entry point of your stalled project until it feels stupidly small. This slider shows the impact of friction. While the goal of writing a full report sits in the high-friction red zone, the target of writing exactly one sentence drops the resistance into the green. This tricks your amygdala. A commitment of just 2 minutes doesn't register as a high-stakes threat, allowing the alarm bells to stay quiet. You can apply this to any domain. Cleaning the entire room becomes organizing the desk. Starting a business becomes drafting one single email. Once you break the physical seal and get your body in motion, momentum takes over. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. The gateway serves as a mechanical trigger. It bypasses the biological lockout and returns control to the prefrontal cortex. The second lever is environment priming. We shift the focus from internal motivation to the manipulation of your physical surroundings. This follows the 20-second rule. Decrease the time it takes to start a target habit while increasing the time it takes to access a distraction. This diagram maps activation energy. If your primary tool is hidden in a closet, starting is difficult. By placing that tool on your desk within arm's reach, you remove the friction required to begin. Simultaneously, add friction to distractions. Physically remove your smartphone and place it in a different room. Adjusting these defaults means you are no longer making a decision to work. You are simply following the path of least resistance. Your behavior is often dictated by the invisible force of your environment. Change the space to automate the behavior. The third lever is the draft zero mindset. Here, the priority shifts from quality to the sheer volume of output. Perfectionism is often an analytical stall tactic. It forces your brain to try and solve problems for things that don't even exist in the physical world yet. To break this, you must force ideas out of your head and onto the page. Work fast, make it unpolished, and be deliberately wrong. Perfection creates a barrier to entry that leads to overthinking. But aiming for 77% lowers the pressure just enough to keep you moving. Once the work is roughly 77% as good as you want it to be, stop and move to the next section. Improvement happens through repetition and iteration on existing data, not through isolated thinking. Focus entirely on output over polish. The primary goal is to generate a draft zero. This is a physical object that proves the paralysis has been broken. Run a low-stakes experiment right now. Select one stalled task and apply all 3 levers immediately. Prime your stace, set a 2-minute timer, and produce a terrible draft zero without any self-censorship. Gather your own internal data during this process. Observe how the mental spinning wheel stops the moment physical movement begins. This system scales to any high-friction scenario. It works for massive career shifts or simple household chores. Look at your workflow. Which part of your current system is creating the most friction, and what happens if you simply remove that variable today?